Hello everyone. Today I will show you the top 10 best drones. Number 10. DJI Mavic Air 2. Specifications. Weight. 570 grams. Dimensions folded 180 97 84 mm. Dimensions unfolded 183 253 77 mm. Video resolution 4K 60 fps. Camera resolution 48 MP. Battery life 34 minutes 3500 mAh. Max range 18.5 km 11.4 mi. Max speed 68 kph 42 miles per hour. 4K shooting at 60 fps. The DJI Mavic Air 2 is a stunning technical achievement, an incredibly capable drone that for most people might look like the only flying camera they ever need. With front downward and rear facing distance sensors, the drone is capable of identifying obstacles and not just warning the pilot, but also plotting a course to avoid, say, a wall or a tree if needed. This drone offers much longer flying time, an impressive 34 minutes, and better range than the original Mavic Air. But the real appeal to photographers and videographers is the new 4K 60 fps camera, which packs a 48 megapixel half-inch sensor. This drone gets a completely redesigned controller, which we rather like, with your smartphone slotting in above the controllers, just like you would find on top-end drones. As with other DJI drones, an extra Fly More pack is available, which bundles stuff you really need: case, spare batteries. This costs more of course, but is often a wise investment. Number 9. Parrot Anafi FPV. Specifications. Weight. 310 grams. Dimensions folded 244 67 65 mm. Dimensions unfolded 240 175 65 mm. Video resolution 4K HDR 30 fps. Camera resolution 21 MP. Battery life 25 minutes 2700 mAh. Max range 4 km 2.5 mi. Max speed 55 kph 35 miles per hour. 4K 100 megabits per second with HDR. Rather than push up prices and wait with sensors of questionable use and the processing power to handle their data, Parrot leave the business of avoiding obstacles very much to the customer. In exchange, though, it's managed to keep the portability and price manageable, helped by the fact a great hard fabric zip case is included, so you will be able to shoot just about anywhere. The carbon fiber elements of the body can feel a little cheap, but in reality this is one of the best built frames on the market and very easy to operate thanks to automatic takeoff landing, GPS-based return to home, and an exceptionally well-built folding controller with a hinged phone grip, one that seems so much easier to operate and so much more logical than recent contenders from DJI. The only niggles are that the gimbal is only powered on 2 axes, relying on software to handle sharp turns, which it only does quite well, and that for some reason Parrot charge extra for in-app features, like follow me modes that DJI include as standard. On the plus side, that gimbal can be turned all the way up for an unobstructed angle most drones can't manage, and the system even features zoom, unheard of at its price point. The Parrot Anafi FPV kit is available, and the version we recommend, which combines this drone with head-up display first-person view goggles for a fully immersive flying experience. Number 8. DJI Mini 2. Specifications. Weight. 249 grams. Dimensions folded 38 81 58 mm. Video resolution 4K 30 fps 1080p 60 fps. Camera resolution 12 MP. Battery life 31 minutes 2250 mAh. Max range 10 km 6.2 miles. Max speed 57 kph 35.7 miles per hour. DJI defined compact quality camera drones as something which could appeal to and be understood by everyday consumers with the Mavic in 2016, but price and more recently weight limits kept some consumers away. Drones over 250 grams or operating them now require registration and a small fee in most countries. The Mavic Mini solved the weight issue in 2019, but the latest Mini 2 has taken that already miraculous design and souped it up so it can now attract more serious users too. The airframe is stunningly light, yet is also the charger via the USB-C socket at the back, so that's one less thing when traveling light. It feels strong, and the camera is mounted on a 3-axis gimbal that absorbs nearly all twists and turns in flight and can be tilted smoothly. Control is simple via the excellent new remote. The range is no longer a worry, unlike with the predecessor, and the controller's battery can even top your phone up too. Video is better in 4K and 100 megabits per second, or vloggers happy with 1080p might be more interested by the useful but lossy digital zoom. The automated quickshots the drone keeps the camera on you and performs a cool pre-planned swoop are also very handy. Beginners can look like pro pilots and get dramatic video. Still photos are excellent for the price though can be a little noisy in anything less than good light. Having the option to process in RAW and shoot auto exposure bracketed shots plus automated panoramas all makes this drone a solid step closer to a heavier drone. The DJI Fly app has good safety features and is clear and easy to read without being overbearing. It is also excellent for sharing with useful image processing features. In fact, with a 12-megapixel camera and 4K video, your creations will easily mix with those from a high-end smartphone, but add a more interesting perspective. Number 7. OurVision PowerEgg X Wizard Basic. Specifications. Weight: 860 grams, 1.9 pounds. Dimensions: Egg 178 102 102 millimeters. Dimensions: Drone mode 427 millimeters diagonal. Video resolution 4K 60 fps. Camera resolution 12 MP. Battery life 30 minutes dry mode. Max range 6 km 3.7 mi. Max speed 65 kph 40 miles per hour. OurVision is certainly an inventive company, as its awards shelf will testament. It has been making underwater drones as long as flying ones, but the PowerEgg X is a wide egg which can be used as a drone, a handheld or tripod-mounted camcorder, making use of the gimbal for stability and AI for subject tracking, and in the optional Wizard kit, a beach-ready drone which can land on water or fly in the rain. Photographers will rightly worry that the 4K camera doesn't have as bigger sensor as for example the Mavic Pro, but in good light, it's capable of 60 fps, double the frame rate of the DJI, making it great for action. Its adaptability means its arms are completely removable, but thanks to the folding prop setup takes no longer than a DJI Phantom. The AI camera mode is good, but it would really benefit from a record button like a traditional camcorder. You need to use the app. The waterproof mode means attaching a housing and landing gear, which does take a minute or two and covers the forward-facing collision and object tracking sensors, but there is nothing on the market that can touch it, so it's hardly something to complain about. This is the drone that GoPro should have made. Number 6. DJI Mavic 2 Pro or Zoom. Specifications. Weight: 905 grams. Dimensions: folded 214 91 84 millimeters. Dimensions unfolded 322 242 84 millimeters. Controller: yes. Video resolution 4K HDR 30 fps. Camera resolution Pro 20 MP, Zoom 12 MP. Battery life 31 minutes 3850 mAh. Max range 8 km 5 mi. Max speed 72 kph 44.7 miles per hour. Given DJI's ownership of Hasselblad, the camera branding of the Pro model might be seen as a gimmick, but the 20-megapixel stills from the 1-inch sensor are unquestionably far better quality than those from smaller sensors, including the Mavic 2 Zoom. Manual controls allow up to 128,000 ISO to be selected, and video can be output in real 10-bit, great for pro color grading and in HDR, and there is a 2.811 aperture. Only the new Mavic 3 and Pro drones like the DJI Inspire 2 allow adjustable apertures. For stills photographers operating in daylight, a good deal on a Mavic 2 Pro might be better than a Mavic 3. The range of automated flight modes in the DJI drones like hyperlapse, time-lapse are all well implemented and easy to learn, making the Mavics very effective creative tools when operated alone. These features are also on offer for the cheaper Mavic 2 Zoom, but it has the potentially more enjoyable zoom lens. Unlike the Mavic 3, it's optical zoom, not a long one, and adds dolly zoom to the list of automated visual effects. It will stand out in your media feed if nothing else. Number 5. Bottle Evo 2. Specifications. Weight: 1,174 grams. Wingspan unfolded 397 millimeters. Video resolution 8K 25 fps. Camera resolution 48 MP. Battery life 40 minutes. Max range 9 km 5.5 mi. Max speed 72 kph 44 miles per hour. Like the Mavic 2, Audal's second Evo is offered with different camera choices. In theory, at least, supply has been erratic in its early months, but then 2020 hasn't been an easy year. Both are built around a heavy, rugged-looking but average-feeling orange airframe, which eschews sleek, consumer-friendly design for simple practicality. It's a bit chunkier than the Mavics, but it can fly for longer and is bigger unfolded. While Audal Explorer, its partner app, lacks some of the polish of DJI's equivalents, it does bring all the tracking options you might want. Moreover, it has the huge advantage of being optional. There is a 3.3-inch OLED screen in the remote, meaning you can fly without connecting the phone at all. Another big plus is that the drone has omnidirectional collision sensors, which it uses in normal flight. The Mavic 2 has side sensors, but only uses them in some automatic modes. Intended for professional work, the drone also lacks DJI's big brother geofencing. So far, the lesser 8K model is the one widely available, with the 6K Pro model following and the dual infrared-enabled version to come. In fact, it uses the same Sony IMX586 half-inch imaging chip as featured in the Mavic Air 2, while the 6K Pro sports IMX383 1-inch sensor, that's 4 times the area, and can output 10-bit footage and a variable aperture. It's also worth noting that 8K is limited to 25 FPS, 6K to 50 FPS, and 4K to 60 FPS. Number 4. Autel Evo Nano. Specifications. Weight 249 grams. Wingspan unfolded 260-325mm. Video resolution 4K 30 FPS. Camera resolution 48 MP. Battery life 28 minutes. Max range 10 km 6.2 mi. Max speed TPC. The Evo Nano has been a long time coming since it was first announced by Autel sometime before the Mavic 3. Whether it has made an effective spoiler for DJI's new flagship or ended up starting to go sour because of that very launch tactic is a question for others, but what we can say is that pre-orders are now being seriously taken by trustworthy retailers. That means it should very soon be possible to take delivery of a drone light enough to stay under the registration rules in FAA airspace, for example, while being equipped with a half-inch image sensor and front, back and base collision sensors. Filmmakers will appreciate that Autel's investment in radio has gone into their Skylink tech, meaning the live preview is now 2.7K 30 even at the full 10 kilometers. YouTubers will love the ability to record ambient sounds from their base microphone, example, the phone on their controller, to narrate their flight, and all creators will appreciate the super download feature, wireless transfer of images and videos to a nearby smartphone at 160 MB. Number 3. DJI Mini SE. Specifications. Weight 249 grams. Dimensions folded 180-97-84mm. Dimensions unfolded 159-203-56mm. Controller yes. Video resolution 4K 30 FPS 1080p 60 FPS. Camera resolution 12 MP. Battery life 30 minutes. Max range 3.5 km 2.17 mi. Max speed 72 kph 44.7 miles per hour. The best way to think of the DJI Mini SE in terms of quality is as a flying smartphone camera from a mid-range device. That though is a high standard these days, certainly far higher than toy drones and their shaky video, because this drone can hover perfectly thanks to its onboard sensors and has a 3-axis mechanical stabilizer for its camera. Tech enthusiasts might feel that the 2.7K video resolution isn't enough for them, but family members and anyone watching socially shared versions would be hard-pressed to spot the difference against 4K. The drone also scrapes in beneath the 250 grams registration barrier and has a much more welcoming entry price than anything else DJI offers, making it a perfect gift. Software-wise, the app is intuitive and includes auto land return to home and some cool orbiting effects which will be sure to earn likes. Number 2. DJI Mavic 3 Sign. Specifications. Weigh 895 grams. Dimensions folded 221-96-90mm. Dimensions unfolded 348-283-108mm. Controller yes. Video resolution 5.1K HDR 50 FPS. Camera resolution 20 MP plus 12 MP. Battery life 46 minutes 5000 mAh. Max range 15 km 8 miles. Max speed 68 kph 42.5 miles per hour. The Mavic 3 is a powerful machine capable of lifting both a 24mm EFL main camera and a secondary camera which provides a hybrid zoom. This can be a little confusing at first, but it's best thought of as an excellent 20-megapixel camera, which brings the pro, at least in drones, features of adjustable ISO exposure and crucially aperture dot. The zoom has a notably lower res 12-megapixel half-inch sensor attached to the fixed 4/4, so is more of a scouting accessory and surveying tool than an Inspire 2 with the right lens. Nevertheless, the Mavic 3 will do the job in a lot of situations, and it can do it for much longer too, hovering for up to 45 minutes. Some might see the folding form factor as belonging to consumer territory, but that's an old-fashioned perspective in the drone world, and amongst clients, this is an aerial camera, which, while being over most weight limits, is more portable than most, and certainly priced for professionals. The Mavic 3 Sign is a variant exclusively for those requiring ProRes 422HQ format video, which also holds onboard a 1TB SSD to store the uncompressed video it can capture, and ships with a DJI RC Pro controller with built-in screen. Number 1. DJI Air 2's. Specifications. Weight 595 grams. Dimensions folded 180-97-77mm. Dimensions unfolded 183-253-77mm. Controller yes. Video resolution 5.4K 5472 3078 2425 30 HDR. Camera resolution 20 MP. Battery life 31 minutes. Max range 18.5 kilometers. Max speed 68 kph 42 miles per hour. Non-camera devices with cameras on them such as drones tend to be held back by having annoyingly small sensors. So congratulations are due to DJI for sticking a 1-inch sensor in the DJI Air 2s, providing a significant upgrade in image quality and dynamic range compared to a lot of other drones on the market. They done it before with a larger Mavic 2 Pro, but this is theoretically a step down the range, we are not so sure. The Air 2s is much more compact than that drone or any other drone with a 1-inch sensor. Sit it next to a Phantom 4 for a real comparison. The DJI intelligent systems are also coming on apace with active track and avoidance sensors, giving the drone more nuanced control than ever over its own trajectory. It's a huge achievement. How much fits into this drone's slim redesigned chassis? To see more videos like this, please consider subscribing. Otherwise, I'll see you next time.